All right, a lot of you don't know me. I'm John Tobin. I am a EMS captain over at Mesa Fire. My other job, my full-time job, my part-time job is I'm an educator here. My counterpart, Amy Boyce, is in Ohio teaching with her husband, Jim Boyce, and you guys have probably met her along the way. She's been in EMS education for a long, long time, and she's fantastic. We love her. But she scheduled this on the same time, so she got knocked down a couple of points. So, all right, I'm going to talk to you guys about documentation, what we're looking for documentation. Since we are doing a before and after study, it's not a study, it's a project. Sorry, Dan. But we're comparing the data. So we're looking at the data before for 4 years prior. We're doing right now what's called the run-in period. And so we're doing some training. We'll get all the agencies up, and then we're going to look at how we did. So if we implemented the changes, and if the changes made a significant change for the better. All right. This is just like share. And a lot of you guys were here for the webinar. We talked about how many times have the share police ever come to your organization and said, hey, you're not getting your intubations, or hey, you're not getting your IVs. Never, it doesn't happen. We don't store, we take the information we need and we shred them. Okay, so we're not taking your pre-hospital data and storing it. It's just, we're just not doing it. Ben said we've been doing share for 7 years. Okay, so we're not taking any of your data. The things that we're looking for, and we want to keep it as simple as we can, and it's the 3 H-bombs. We're looking for hyperventilation, so we want end-tidal CO2 readings every 5 minutes, if you can. And I know, in the heat of battle, stuff's happening, stuff's going on. But if you're thinking about this as the lead paramedic on the crew, and you're saying, hey, I need an end-tidal CO2 because it's been 5 minutes, it's going to happen. Rather than just waiting for somebody to shout out, oh, okay, end-tidal CO2 is this. And I don't think I've been on a crew that they've shouted out the end-tidal CO2 is without me asking. So you're really going to have, the lead paramedic is really going to have to drive the train on this. So if we're documenting it, hopefully we're doing it, and we're more apt to do it more often if we're going to document it. So we want it between 35 and 45. Hypoxia, we want SpO2 readings every 5 minutes, and if we can. I mean, I know you guys are busy doing stuff, but this is optimal. And then hypotension, we want blood pressures every 5 minutes. Okay, questions on this? And again, like Dr. Gallagher said, we do want to get the blood sugar. We didn't put everything onto the EPIC protocols that we would want you to do in a normal call. We don't put the scene is safe, we're wearing our BSI, all that stuff. But we do expect you guys would do this kind of stuff. Okay? So we would like to get at least 2 Glasgow coma scales. And especially if we're going to put them down RSI, we really need to get that first one to see where they were before we did that. That's part of the RSI protocol already, so it shouldn't be that big of a change. But I know in Mesa, we do a terrible job at GCS, terrible. It just hasn't been part of our culture. Now we're on to EPCR, so we're doing electronic stuff. It has it on there already. We're getting them all the time. We can't just give it a 13. We need the E, V, and M.
Well, we will take whatever you give
yes.
us. But almost all of us know it's about 11.
Yeah.
That's not, we're trying to drive, this matters. So we're trying to drive the documentation to be with what matters.
And if you didn't know what it was, but you know what their motor was,
then put down
even
motor.
just put your motor. That may be the more valuable of the 3, or the most useful of the 3, is just the motor score. So don't be afraid to say, I really don't know, but I know his motor was a 3. Okay.
So we'd like to couple a pupil response with when we do a GCS or when we do pupils, do those together. Okay? Because this is going to kind of show if we do have that unlikely event where they're herniating right in front of us, this is where we're going to pick it up. Is their GCS dramatically dropping, and do they have significant pupillary findings? Yes?
Does it matter if it's actually a capillary blood or a venous blood from the IV needle?
For blood glucose? We don't care. Whatever you guys do. Whatever you guys do. And the 70, don't look at that a whole lot. Okay? I know in the Valley offline protocols that Mesa uses, we don't treat anything less than or less than 60. So it's whatever your protocol is. We just kind of found that number and popped it in there.
This is in the
It's in the Brain Foundation.
In the setting of TBI, this is what the national guidelines say. But this is one of those places where we're not driving Arizona's protocols, but it's worth remembering. The argument basically boiled down to, okay, let me get this straight. Is there anybody that thinks that a glucose of 62 is helpful for a person with severe brain injury? And everybody basically said, it's in the gray zone, so why not treat it? There's no evidence that the problem with high glucose in TBI and other neurological problems is almost for sure when it stays high over an ICU stay. So that's why it was there. But you can follow this or your protocol, whichever your medical director wants you to.
And then hypotension, we want to know how many fluids you gave overall. Okay? As you're trying to keep that blood pressure above 90, how many fluids did it take to make that happen? Okay. Questions on this slide? On the cards that we gave you, there's a nice little GCS on one of the sides here. Okay? Nothing new and groundbreaking. It's just a regular GCS score. And then on both sides it has avoid the H-bombs.